Hello, Mayuri. Welcome to Energy Dozen.
Thank you so much, Amrita.
So, your journey is both inspiring and unique. From dreaming of becoming a pilot as a child to becoming a recognized expert in energy law and communications. Could you start by sharing a bit about how life's twists and turns led you to this career path?
Thank you, Amrita, for such a thoughtful introduction. Honestly, my journey has been a blend of, I would say, three things. One is curiosity, two is guidance, and third is persistence. So, growing up, I was always fascinated by this energy sector because of my father.
Hmm.
He has worked in this sector his entire life. So, over time, seeing him, I realized I wanted to do more than just observe him. I wanted to contribute meaningfully. And in that sense, law became my way of understanding the complexities of the sector. And eventually, I saw how communication could be a powerful tool to simplify these technical issues. So, yeah, it's been an exciting journey so far, and I'm grateful for the experiences that shaped it.
That's really amazing. And your father's role in the power sector and the legal challenges he faced had a significant influence on your decision to pursue law, as you said. How did those early experiences shape your perspective on the energy industry and your current career?
Honestly, my father has been my greatest inspiration actually.
Oh,
He is
wow.
an electrical engineer. He worked tirelessly for the state electricity boards of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh.
Oh,
And he instilled in me a deep respect for the sector. But our lives took a sudden difficult turn when he was embroiled in a baseless legal case. So, despite his honesty and integrity, the slow pace of justice, as we know, justice
hmm.
delivery, and the humiliation of any legal case that brought to our family was truly heartbreaking. So,
Hmm.
watching him fight for his dignity actually shaped me in profound ways. So, I firsthand saw how critical it is to understand and navigate the law, not just to protect oneself, but to actually bring clarity and fairness to others. And that's when I decided to pursue law, to just stand up for what's right and make a difference. When I began working in this sector, I realized I could, combine legal expertise with my passion for storytelling to simplify these complex technical regulatory issues that we come across in this sector. In a way, it was my way of honoring my father's legacy and turn our family's challenges into something more meaningful.
And really inspiring. So, like, after you started in law, you carved a niche for yourself in simplifying complex energy regulation through communication. And this is really a very unique blend of skills. So, what or who gave you the confidence to start this unconventional path?
Thank you so much, Amrita, for asking this question. I would say it was my mentor, Mr. Nishant Saxena. He is a seasoned communications practitioner who really gave me the confidence to explore this path. He saw potential in me that even I had not fully recognized.
Hmm.
His encouragement actually helped me realize how I could connect the dots between law, technical regulations, and communications. So I would say it wasn't easy at first, but his guidance and belief in my abilities actually gave me the courage to try something different and stick with it.
So, because for now we do not see much of communication happening in sectors like energy.
Yeah, that's the whole point because he gave me that perspective of,
Yeah.
seeing this sector, technical sector, from a different point of view, and wherein you're not really focusing only on the technical aspects of it, but also seeing the human side of it.
Very well said. You have often mentioned the importance of storytelling in your work. Could you share an example of how crafting the right narrative helped drive change or create an impact in the energy sector that you are now doing?
Oh, Amrita, honestly, I feel that storytelling has been a game changer in my work. I remember a project where we had to explain some renewable energy regulations to a group of investors. So the technical jargons that we get in these energy law and regulations, they were overwhelming. So I decided to actually simplify it and using the visuals and relatable examples to them. So instead of talking about technical policies, we showed how they impacted the business in general and its impact on the communities. So this kind of narrative shift made a big difference. It not only eased their decision making but also created a sense of urgency to act and the sense of responsibility they have.
So, looking back, you have built a reputation as someone who bridges the gap between technical, legal, and regulatory domains. So, how do you see this journey evolving from here? And are there any specific ambitions or new frontiers you're excited to explore about?
Looking ahead, I feel it's time for me to take another step, possibly venturing into entrepreneurship. And I want to create a platform or consultancy that simplifies law and policies for businesses while also raising awareness about sustainability. So it's a new challenge, I agree, and scary as well, but I am excited to explore it. Because simply because this sector is so evolving so quickly, and there is a lot of potential to actually make a real impact at a larger scale.
So, given your plans to possibly venture into entrepreneurship, how do you envision leveraging your unique expertise to create broader impact in the energy and sustainability space in itself?
Okay, so entrepreneurship would allow me to focus on simplifying legal and regulatory complexities for businesses and policymakers. But even beyond that, I see it as a role for education where I'm helping stakeholders understand the importance of sustainability. So I really feel, and I have realized this, that communication has the power to drive action. And I want to use that power to create an impact at large scale.
Sustainability and energy transition are core themes in your work. How do you see communication playing a pivotal role in driving the just energy transition India is working towards?
Okay, so Amrita, I think communication here is absolutely critical. It's what makes the complex policies relatable to the people and businesses. So even for India's energy transition, we need that clear and consistent messaging that explains why the change is necessary and how it benefits everyone. And without that, even the best of initiatives can struggle to gain traction. So that is why communications is absolutely critical for this just energy transition in India.
So, you have also mentioned that being a woman in a male dominated sector like energy often comes with challenges, but they also have unique opportunities. So, how has your perspective as a woman shaped your approach to leadership and problem solving?
You would understand that being a woman in this field, it is challenging yet exciting. And based on my experience, I would say it has definitely taught me resilience. With time, I have learned to approach leadership with more empathy and collaboration. So even if this is a technical sector, it is not just about solving problems. It is also about understanding the people involved in this and to build consensus. So I think that perspective had made me more effective in my work.
And through platforms like Energy Dozen, you are emerging as a role model for women in this field. What advice would you give to young women aspiring to enter the energy sector, especially in specialized domains like yours?
My advice would be three things. One, don't be afraid to try something new. There's always going to be something new to explore, and don't be afraid to try it. The energy sector is full of opportunities, but it is also very complex. So the second thing is learn to simplify ideas, whether they are technical, legal, regulatory, anything. And third, I would say find good mentors who can guide you and always stay curious. Be a curious cat. This journey might be challenging, but it's all worth it, I would say.
You have talked about your passion for adventure sports, ultra marathons, and solo travels as well. How do
Hmm.
these pursuits influence your professional philosophy and keep you motivated in a challenging field like energy?
Just the mention of these things brings smile on my face, Amrita. Um, Adventure sports and travel actually has taught me so much about focus, discipline, and perseverance. So
Yeah.
whether it's running an ultra marathon, doing a triathlon, or just traveling solo anywhere, all these experiences have actually pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Wow.
And through that, they have really helped me think clearly and reset mentally whenever things get so overwhelming. So all these kind of things, adventure sports and travel, have made me a better professional, I believe, by simply teaching me the power of discipline, power of taking small steps, baby steps at a time, and handle pressure and accept the challenges.
Before we wrap up, Mayuri, this was really nice, short, yet very inspiring to talk to you about your entire journey, like how you dreamt of being a pilot and now you are into you went to legal and now in energy sector doing communications. So,
Yeah.
before we close, what's the one message you would like to leave our listeners with about the future of energy, sustainability, and then the role of communication in it shaping the entire domain?
I think, Amrita, my parting thought would be, as you know, energy transition is one of the most important challenges of our time.
Yeah.
But for it to succeed, we all need a clear and relatable communication. And that thing is not just about policies or technologies, it's ultimately about people. So if we can get that messaging right, we can actually bring everyone on board and create real and lasting change.